5. Those are the villas. Another solo vlog. In China now, watching Chinese Grand Prix for F1. Nanki's not here. Watching with my dad, of course, and Tito Cosco and his son Chaco. Just got our passes. So this time we're not taking grandstand tickets, we have the Paddock Club tickets. So I didn't get to pick it up yesterday at the Conrad Hotel. So I had to do it this morning. They're all waiting for me at the main entrance. Had to walk a bit, but going back to them and got our passes. You enter through these turnstiles. These are the same entrance that the drivers use. You present your pass and you're inside. And then this is the corridor where to your left are the villas where the teams stay and the drivers stay. And that access in the middle is called the paddock, where the drivers would cross over to the garages right below. And on the right are the club suites where we would stay and watch the race. And then also behind me, like this one right there is the villa. So this one's a Red Bull. And Ferrari's like over there. So we're like, oh, there's Ferrari. McLaren's over there. And then behind me are the suites. So we are in the F1 experience. But then this one is the McLaren one right over here. Then the McLaren one also shares it with the Ferrari one. Here in their paddock tour. Ferrari. Oh my god, this is like so surreal. I can't. As we walked the paddock, I had to keep composure as I was so starstruck. I was such in the moment where I was just so happy, thinking that these are the same spots that drivers would use and be walking up and down. And I took this moment to just keep my eyes wide open for drivers. And I saw Valtteri Bottas and Helmut Marko, who chooses the drivers for Red Bull, and all the F1 media presenters on TV. And here, as you can see, this is Carlos Sainz's management. That's his friend and his manager, Kako, who's his cousin, Carlos Aronio, right there. And as we walk through the garages on our right. Those are the villas. Oh, media pen.
Interview over there. There's a media pen, yeah. 这个是他们媒体的。
That's the media pen over right there. This is the media pen where team managers and drivers would get interviewed. So here you would see the team principal of Alpine, and Zach Brown is being interviewed, the one in orange, and Christian Horner is somewhere on the right side. So here you see Christian Horner on the right and Zach Brown being interviewed on the left. It's so surreal, as you would usually just see this on Netflix on Drive to Survive or on TV and watching the highlights, but you're seeing them up close and in the flesh. Fun fact, while I was in the corridor, I saw Zach Brown pass behind me. After I ran up to the suite corridor to wait for more drivers. So here I see Lewis Hamilton. You can see him making his way to the garage, taking pictures with everybody, and his scooter, his signature scooter. It's amazing to be able to see Lewis Hamilton wear the red for the first time and seeing him in the flesh, being a Ferrari driver. And he enters the garage here. Next, here we see Charles Leclerc making his way from the villa to the garage. And being an F1 driver, he's just walking towards his garage and signing autographs. And watch till the end. This is the part where you can cue Charles Leclerc. And he waves at me. Next, we see Guan Yu Zhao acting as a Ferrari reserve driver, and this is his home race. Even though he wasn't racing, he was treated like he was gonna race. But hey, you can't deny it's his home race, his home fans. Just happy to support him. Here we see GP walking to the Red Bull garage. This is Max's race engineer. the guy that you hear talking to him over the radio, making his way to the garage. Following GP is Hannah Schmitz, the strategist for Red Bull F1 team. Here we see Christian Horner making his way from the villa to the garage. After spotting drivers in the paddock, made my way inside the club suite. This is where we would hang out and watch the race. Everything is unlimited, food, drinks. So as you can see, the food is served buffet style, but each dish is plated. I went for the fillet of prime beef here. It was amazing. And we make our way into the tables. So this is where everybody gets an assigned table per group. As you can see, the environment is very lively. Everybody just enjoying their food, hanging out. And this is the bar. Our table was right beside the bar, so it was so easy to get drinks. There are TVs all around, and the commentary comes through, so you really know what's happening. And it's air conditioned, so it's very comfortable. And after this, I made my way up to the rooftop terrace to watch the sprint race start. This is the rooftop terrace where you get to see the main straight. You get to see the start up close to the right here. And then you are opposite the main grandstand. So this is the start of the sprint race where all the drivers are getting ready for the sprint race. You can see Hamilton on pole here. And on the opposite side of this terrace, you can actually see the other side of the track. And at this part, you could also see the first turn action. This is the view of the sprint race start from the terrace from where I was standing. Hamilton pulls into the start box, followed by Max, then the McLaren, then the other drivers will be pulling into the start box, and Hamilton actually here will be waiting for quite a while. This probably feels like forever as he waits for the other drivers to pull in, and it's quite critical, especially if you're in pole, because your car starts to cool down, so you really want the other drivers to hurry. And here they go in the first turn, and Hamilton wins the sprint race. Traffic so bad. Started to walk like 2 kilometers out, and we're like 30 minutes from the start, so gotta do this. It was worth rushing and walking through traffic. As we got to the suite, we found out that Max Verstappen and Liam Lawson and Pierre Gasly were having an appearance, settled down, and waited for them to come.
There's a lot of people.
Yeah, we've got a busy room this morning, busy room. They were here bang on 10 o'clock when the doors open to catch the interviews. Liam, thank you so much for joining us. Busy weekend with it being sprint and then Grand Prix today. Sprint was positive yesterday, moved forward, good pace. How does that transfer into today's slightly longer Grand Prix?
I mean, yeah, it's positive. Obviously, we moved forward a little bit yesterday. I think we're all really struggling with the same grading issues on the tyres. So for today, it's going to be who does the best job at basically stopping that and making
It will be a bit more competitive. Now, is that going to be enough? I don't know. But the only thing that I will try to do is, of course, try and stay with them. See that maybe, with the pit stops now, of course, that we can look after the tyres in the way. And hopefully, of course, it will be a great race in general.
Ladies and gentlemen of the Paddock Club, please give a warm welcome to BWT.
Can I get a high five?
Formula One driver, Pierre Gasly. Good morning, Pierre. Thank you so much for joining us. Busy weekend, sprint weekend, obviously.
After the appearances, was now time for the main race. Here's the cars assembling. Lewis Hamilton making his way out. Here you can see Oscar Piastri, who qualified on pole, getting wheeled into the start box. So the cars make it out of the pits, and once they get to the back of the straight, they get welcomed by their mechanics and wheeled into their spot. At about 5 minutes before the race start, drivers will start gearing up. Here you can see Hamilton gearing up, putting on his helmet, talking to his personal assistant. Then he will be jumping in the car soon. And
And here you see Poleman Piastri getting into his car. This will be the time where he will do his last minute checks with his engineers, make sure he's comfy in his seat, and get ready for the race. This is right before the race start. The drivers are pulling into their start boxes. These front runners will be waiting for the back people to get into their start positions. This must feel like an eternity as they don't want their cars to cool down that much, but they have to wait for their other competitors. Then once the competitors at the back have pulled into their start slots, the lights will go out and away we go. The cars come back around. There's their first lap. Then we see McLaren leading, and eventually we see Piastri win this race. And this wraps up the Chinese Grand Prix. This was an amazing experience. Paddock Club was amazing. I hope to do it again.